Beard.
From the Fans Talk Podcast family at fanstalkpodcast.com, this is episode 282 of Fans Talk Pro Wrestling. My name is Garvin, and with us, as always, is Joe. Say hello, Joe.
Hello, Joe.
And Nick. Say hello, Nick.
Don't look at me.
This episode of FTPW has been brought to you by our friends over on Patreon. Definitely want to thank everyone who has been helping the overall cause. You guys are great. Patreon.com/Fans Talk. You can get exclusive bonus content every month, as well as early access to all of our episodes. We just recently revamped the Patreon pledge rewards section, as well as our goals to just give you guys a little bit more of an idea of what we're trying to accomplish with everything. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. And this week we're going to be talking about. Well, basically, we're going to continue down the road to WWE Night of Champions, plus everything else that's going on in WWE and NXT. But let's start off with this week's Raw, shall we? What happened this week, guys? That's really worth talking about.
Really, that becomes the question, doesn't it?
I believe the majority of what this show was is called a dumpster fire,
which explains why Sting was all over it. This was a Sting vignette packed show. Lots of pre-taping. Yay.
Not to mention the shit show that is the TMZ wannabe episode of Rusev and Ziggler.
This was, I hate to be negative. I really do. And I know I say that and I'm always negative, but come on, was this episode not warranted?
It is totally fucking warranted.
This was a terrible episode of Raw. And usually I try to find something I like out of it. Like, Cesaro was on the card, so that's a positive. We had the Wyatts involved. But outside... Nick, I mean, what did you find that stood out? Because, damn.
Everything the New Day touched, I loved.
Good point.
Yeah, and just about all of Rollins' stuff was good as well. The match with Ryback... the match itself was okay up till the ending, when Sting interrupted and distracted him, and Ryback got that total fuck finish. He's acting like Rollins was the big guy, and he's like Torito trying to go for a roll-up finish. The way he celebrated after that was ridiculous. It's total role reversal, and it makes absolutely no sense. But, yeah, I mean, Rollins did a good job. New Day did a good job. I think Ambrose and Reigns had a decent match with the Ascension. I wish the Ascension wasn't getting steamrolled again, but what are you going to do? I think overall we got maybe a solid hour of entertainment out of last night.
And I think that's being generous.
It is. I am including some segment of some people might not have enjoyed it. I am including a little bit of that, but I am being generous.
Yeah, I will give you that New Day touched... Everything New Day touched was gold. Now, the question then becomes, was it gold because everything on the show was so bad, or was it gold, or was it actually gold? I'm going with actual gold.
Total white and gold.
Yeah, they've been doing very well.
Yeah, I will always pop for Xavier Woods and that trombone, especially the victory fanfare. That was glorious.
Yes. See, and that's just goes to show you he can actually play said instrument as opposed to them kind of just piping it in.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot of people... I read one of the many internet sites that they're like, oh, he wasn't really playing it. Bullshit, he was playing. He had good amateur, man.
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's take a moment and talk about the Wyatt family, which is something that you referenced quickly, Joe. As everyone is aware, last week we weren't really able to have the conversation we wanted to, which was really the first major strong showing of Braun Strowman and his introduction or his involvement with the Wyatts. So we basically had him involved in a strong way 2 weeks in a row. Do you think this is a good move for the Wyatt family to basically get back together, bring in a big solid guy like Braun Strowman?
In a way, I do. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. It just leaves me wondering what they're going to do with Erick Rowan when he comes back, because Braun Strowman has taken Erick Rowan's role. I mean, that's what Rowan was supposed to be. He was just supposed to be this supposedly devastating monster. And now I don't see it. I mean, I don't see it in Rowan, because Rowan's smaller than Strowman. If they're going to replace him, what do they do? Or do they just not bring back Rowan? Do they repackage him?
Yeah, I mean, Rowan's not built like Strowman is. I mean, it is kind of hard to tell with that jumpsuit that he's wearing, but like it's obvious. Rowan wasn't that much bigger than Harper is. And I mean, wow, Strowman's come on really strong. For a guy that like we've never seen on TV before Raw, he's doing some fairly impressive stuff. And I'm enjoying it. I kind of feel for Rowan, like you, Joe. I don't know what's next for him when he comes back. Maybe a tag team with Sheamus. I don't know. But, yeah,
And being managed by Becky Lynch?
I don't know, maybe.
Then it's just Team Ginger?
It's possible.
So, why do you guys think that there's no way that they bring Erick Rowan in and have 4 members of the Wyatt family? Because it's not just you guys. I mean, it just seems like the internet in general are suggesting that, Braun took Erick Rowan's spot, and, what do you do with Eric? But why couldn't Eric rejoin?
Well, I mean, I think the things that count against Erick Rowan return, or at least being with the Wyatt family, you look at it, and it's Rowan was the guy who wore the sheet mask. I mean, I know this is a stupid detail here, but Rowan wore the sheet mask. All of a sudden, he's injured, and they bring in another guy wearing a sheet mask.
Well, the black sheet mask.
Regardless, it's part of that gimmick that he had. And I think that's the kind of part of the problem is like things that made Erick Rowan unique are now being put onto Strowman. I mean, I don't think it's like terrible. I mean, I do see it as being different. That being said, it wasn't like anybody else really would wear that mask to the ring. It wasn't like Daniel Bryan did it when they brought him in. So it feels like they're taking away his gimmick.
Yeah, I do think that's a fair point that you're raising, Garvin. There's really nothing keeping them from making the Wyatt family a 4-man stable. I think it's just everybody's tracking from the history. The Wyatt family's always been a trio. When they went up against the Shield, it was 3-on-3. And I don't know, it just, to me, it seems like it was such a seamless insertion with Strowman that maybe we don't miss Rowan. Maybe we don't feel like they need Rowan. Which, I guess you could always just repackage him, as long as he's going to be out. And the way they started trying to turn his character with that super genius face aspect, maybe he could come back with a different gimmick. Shave the beard. I don't know if he can grow hair or not, but, maybe come back with different hair, different outfit, completely change him.
Sure, and, as the Wyatt family has existed thus far, it did seem that Eric and Luke Harper were basically your tag team, while Bray Wyatt was the vocal guy or the singles guy. But I still think that they could do that, just have Eric and Braun Strowman as your tag team. And Luke Harper can definitely work alone as far as a singles guy in that grouping. Have him go after the IC while Bray Wyatt is going for, a top guy or something along those lines. I just think that there's still an opportunity there for Eric to be, despite, the obvious gimmick, infringements that they've given to Braun Strowman. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that he's completely out. I'm just saying that's the way it kind of looks like they're leaning. They totally could work with Rowan, being a part of it. And who knows? I mean, maybe Strowman ends up being the big singles guy. Bray ends up being more the manager, like he kind of has been. And then, Harper and Rowan stay the tag team. I mean, Strowman obviously could cut it on his own if marketed right. Look at Brock Lesnar. Although Brock Lesnar, from what we've seen, has a lot more skill than Strowman. We don't see Strowman doing a whole heck of a lot.
Right.
I mean, obviously that's by design at this point. You know, they want to showcase him as that giant beast, but there's still a whole lot more potential.
All right, so let's talk about the Divas Championship. So this week, Charlotte basically made claim to, or she made the challenge that she wanted to stop Nikki from becoming the longest reigning Divas champion ever, and basically challenged her before Night of Champions. So what do you see taking place? Do you think that Charlotte will be able to stop her before Night of Champions? Do you think that match won't take place, thus allowing Nikki to go into Night of Champions as the longest reigning champion, or, you know, another option? Like, what do you guys see coming out of this?
First of all, fucking finally, somebody's actually gunning for the title in order to stop that record being broken. But as much as I want this to happen, as much as I want Charlotte to become Divas champion, something tells me that it's not going to happen. Like, there's going to be 6 women out there if Team Bad just decides, hey, we're going to sit in the back and watch, which I kind of doubt. It's begging for interference. It's begging for a disqualification. And, you know, it strikes me as a tease, as a way to just mess with the smart fans. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to see a disqualification finish.
Yeah, I'm completely in agreement with you, Nick. It will be a disqualification. Nikki's going to break the record. Only because they don't want AJ. I think they're like, no AJ Lee. We're getting you out of the books as best we can. Do I see a rematch at Night of Champions? Totally. Do I see?
Oh yeah, they never stopped. They never took that match off the card. That's still going to be there.
Oh, then hell. Yeah, no, it's Charlotte. Charlotte may take it at Night of Champions, but not.
Yeah, now that I think about it, this match next week might be the impetus for just a singles match, no interference whatsoever. The interfering team gets their member disqualified.
It's a possibility.
All right,
Darvin, what say you?
Well, I don't think that they will take the title off of her before Night of Champions. Like, you know, I'm with you guys that I would love to see it, because it is a shame that A, she has held the title for as long as she has, but B, I mean, that they really haven't been able to push anyone up to her level for some reason. Like, Paige seems to have been floundering ever since AJ left. Really, before AJ left. You know, you do have...
I think Paige floundered when they made her part of PCB. I think she actually got overshadowed at that point.
Everybody floundered when they set up those 3 teams. This hasn't helped anybody.
Yeah, I mean, this whole Divas Revolution has been a huge disappointment, because, you know, with NXT, what made it work was that they just allowed them the opportunity to do something in the ring, tell your stories in the ring. And they didn't say, hey, we're going to have a women's championship evolution here in NXT. No, I mean, they let the matches talk for themselves. And that's the proper way to do it. You know,
they gave them a fucking storyline down there.
Yeah. I mean,
there's no story here. It's just, we're going to have competition. Competition's great, right? We're just going to have 20-minute matches. I mean, absolutely nothing. Divas title? What's that?
Yeah. So, yeah, it is a shame. It did seem like they were going in a good direction when they brought up who they did as far as Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha. But the fact that we're still sitting in the same spot and no one has really been able to step out and make a name for themselves yet on the main show, that's a major shame, because they all have the ability to do that. So yeah, so I'm definitely disappointed that it got to this point with Nikki, but it's mostly a shame that WWE still cannot tell a story if they had to, and I can't understand why they've lost the ability to tell good stories, good consistent stories.
So saith the Garvin. Yeah. All praise him.
So let's keep talking about Night of Champions. Right now, the card as it stands, and we're going to be previewing this in full next week at FTPW283. Seth Rollins versus Sting for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship is going to be your main event. Seth Rollins also is going to be defending the U.S. Championship against John Cena. Nikki versus Charlotte for the Divas Championship. The Wyatt family versus Reigns, Ambrose, and a partner of their choice. Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev. Those are your official matches. And rumored matches, we've got Ryback versus Kevin Owens. They've started that in that direction, but it has not been made official yet. And also the New Day versus the Dudley Boyz, or potentially the New Day versus the Dudley Boyz versus PTP for the Tag Team Championship. So, let's talk about the card that we have right now. Are you excited about Night of Champions right now?
I like when they put the titles on the line. They should do this every pay-per-view. We know they don't. I love the idea of Night of Champions, but on the whole, I'm not sure if I'm excited about it. There are some things that I would love to see there. I mean, some of the rumored matches, like Ryback, Kevin Owens. Would love to see that, but I don't know. It's got potential, but I'm not all that excited.
Yeah, the card as it stands now looks decent, barring Rusev versus Ziggler. The only good thing I can say about that is maybe this is where it finally ends.
No. Come on, they brought back Christian on Raw. I'm surprised they didn't try to give him one more match. They're going to beat this thing to death, just like Sheamus and Orton.
Yeah.
Because we got that again on Raw, too.
Yeah, that was fucking stupid. How can somebody that's so blatantly phoning it in still be so insistent on getting 20 minutes for a match every time he's in the ring? But, getting back to Night of Champions, like I said, it looks like a decent card so far, especially if the rumor matches are set. And we know we're getting a tag team match as well. The Dudley straight up said it. We're getting the winner of this match at Night of Champions. The only question remains, does PTP get another shot should they lose next week? So, yeah, I am optimistic about the overall quality of this card.
Who do you think is going to be the mystery partner for the Shield?
Randy Orton.
That was way too fast. But yeah, how can it not be Orton?
Yeah, after the beatdown on Raw?
And the way he no-sold everything against Sheamus, there's no way that took him out of commission.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be Randy Orton.
And that's going to make this match suck.
Suck.
All right, well, again, we're going to be previewing this in full next week, but just some early predictions as we move forward. Lots of rumors that Sheamus is going to be cashing in, especially because they're kind of teasing that on TV. So what do you think about that? Do you think Sheamus cashes in, say, if Sting wins, or even if Seth Rollins wins? Do you think we'll see a Sheamus cash in?
I could see it, but I only see it if Sting's involved. I don't necessarily see it outside of that, because they're going to... Who do you make your face, Sheamus or Rollins?
It's got to be Rollins.
Yeah,
they're already teasing it with sometimes dissension with Triple H and Stephanie. But yeah, I do figure that there will be, if not an actual cash in, then Sheamus is going to come out. Like that much, I have absolutely no doubt. I'm betting on it 100%. It's just whether or not the cash in will actually go through. I think that's too early to tell at this point.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely think we're going to get something from him, but I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I think you're right, Nick. I don't think we're going to get... I think we're only going to get it if it's Sting. I don't know why I'm having such a big brain fart today.
Any chance that Rollins walks out with neither title?
No.
I highly doubt that. I think there might be a chance that he loses the heavyweight championship, but yeah, I don't see any scenario where he's losing the title clean to Cena.
I mean, because there's no reason for Cena to have it at this point.
Exactly.
That's the big complaint. Is Cena's done everything he can for that title, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't think it can go much longer with Rollins holding both belts. I think that does a disservice to the U.S. title because, I mean, yeah, you can keep having Rollins do 2 matches a night, but I kind of doubt it's going to be title matches every night, and the U.S. title does need to be defended. So I think they're going to have that split sooner rather than later. Just not a Night of Champions, I don't think.
And then you also get that thing that I've brought up in the past where, okay, if hypothetically Rollins is holding both titles and then somebody like a Zack Ryder or something like that beats him for the U.S. title, how does that make your World Championship title look?
Yeah, that's a good point.
It weakens everything.
All right, cool. Dudley Boyz. What's your thoughts on the Dudley Boyz return in WWE? I mean, we really haven't had an opportunity to talk about it, but now that they've been put into your tag team title race, do you like their involvement? Do you think they add something good to the division?
In theory, they could, just like they could in TNA. I foresee this being a passing thing. One last run before they supposedly retire. That's the only way I'm looking at this.
I think it's been fun. Don't
get me wrong, it's fun, but...
Yeah, I am kind of thinking that it will go for a while. Like, maybe we will get a few months of them sticking around in WWE, because unlike the previous tag teams they've carted out for gimmick appearances like APA or the Outsiders or the New Age Outlaws, whoever you've got, like the Dudleys can still go. Like both of them. They can still have fun matches, long matches. And I think that the WWE is going to want them around to kind of, make the tag division look a little better. Give the New Day something to work with. Give the Usos something to work with when they come back. So yeah, I think this has been a good move, and I expect we'll keep seeing good things from this.
It's just difficult to me. If this is, it almost comes across to me like this is purely like, hey, or from the role of Triple H here. Hey guys, thanks very much. I guess it's a little more Vince, but thank you for being a part of this company in the Attitude Era and helping us, excel and exceed expectations. We'll give you championship number 25 and send you on your merry way.
So you're thinking they're going to walk away with the titles at Night of Champions?
Not necessarily the Night of Champions, but in this run, they're going to get one more run.
I could see that.
Yeah, definitely one more run. I think I'd rather see the titles on them than I did the New Age Outlaws.
Oh yeah, yeah. But if the Dudleys get it, cool. But I'm really hoping it's not going to be some stupid thing where Edge and Christian get involved. For those of you who didn't watch Raw, Edge and Christian were on Raw because they were going to be on the Stone Cold podcast. After Raw, which I have not gotten a chance to listen to yet.
Oh, it's good.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I can't imagine it wouldn't be, given those guys, but since they kind of seem to side with the Dudleys against the New Day in that segment, I am fearful that they might do something kind of like WrestleMania where the NWO and DX got involved in the Sting Triple H match.
Yeah, right.
I'll turn it into a Heath Slater versus all the legends scenario.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Just something terrible like that. And that to me will hurt the Dudleys and their legacy. Not extraordinarily, but me personally as a fan, I would think it would be. I'd be like, really? That's what we're gonna do? Because that's an old man gimmick. That's not the Dudleys.
Anything else from the main show we want to talk about?
Well, it wouldn't exactly be the main show here, but WWE.com had a poll asking for which person who returns would have the biggest pop, and listed on that list was Shane McMahon, so I'm going to fuel those rumors right now. Because
who else was on that list?
Jeff Hardy, and last time I looked, Jeff Hardy was winning that list.
Yeah.
What, really? No way.
All right,
hey, man, people like drugs.
So Jeff Hardy, Shane McMahon.
Kurt Angle was in there.
Right.
I think maybe I saw Kyle Gass?
No. There's no way you saw Kyle Gass.
Not Kyle Gass. Pete Gass.
Okay, whatever. Still.
Kyle Gass was the dude from Tenacious D.
That's true.
Yeah.
Pete Gass was the guy in the
Right.
Main Street Posse.
Okay. Anyways, no, there's no way. But let's jump into some news real quick. You just mentioned the name Angle, and that reminded me. I just saw an interview that Kurt Angle did somewhere on the internet, and he basically said that his contract is up in TNA in January, and he's not going to resign with TNA, but instead he is going to take time away from wrestling. He's not going to pursue another run in WWE. So I don't necessarily believe that, but let's say WWE finally approaches him and says, "Okay, we will give you a short contract or something where he's only doing a couple different dates." Do you think Angle's really going to turn that down?
No,
he's not getting a contract to work in WWE. He wouldn't pass the physical. He'd be getting a Legends contract and an offer to go into the Hall of Fame, and that's it.
I think he'd get a run. Because it'll give him a little time to clean. He's probably given himself some time to clean up a little bit. And, the last time he decided, I need some time off to heal up and take care of my injuries. Oh, look, I'm in TNA. And I expect him to do the same thing, but in reverse.
It is kind of interesting with that Angle interview, the fact that he's not re-signing. It makes me wonder if that adds any more legitimacy to the rumors that TNA and GFW are merging. If Jarrett's going to be here full time, I want out.
Or, hey, I'm going to sign with GFW.
Well, I feel like we've already argued about this in the Slack community, but I can't imagine that he would leave the company because of that, or he would refuse to fulfill his existing contract because of the partnership between the two companies.
Jarrett took his freaking family, man. I don't know.
I can see it.
I don't know either, but at the same time, I can't imagine he would refuse to work for TNA.
Have you seen some of his drunken Twitter ramblings?
Oh,
Sometimes his judgment is not the best.
I wish we had more of those. Those used to happen every weekend.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I don't know, but I do remember specifically that he said he was going to sign one more contract and it was going to be his final contract. And that was the one he just signed with TNA. Now, I know his intentions were to sign with WWE, but they never offered him a deal, so...
Did he tell you that's what his intentions were?
Not to me individually.
Oh, okay.
We're not on a personal basis, right? But that is what he said on the internet. He said, "I'm going to sign one more deal, and this is my last wrestling contract." And
Sting said he'd never work for WWE. So once you say it on the internet, it's got to be true. You can't go back on it. We're going to see Angle in one more run. Come on, you in the E. Come on.
His neck is 3 times the average human size because it's been broken so many times.
And
I just don't think the WWE is going to allow that. What happens if, God forbid, he hurts himself again? And, yeah, I mean...
then at WrestleMania, he'll fight Vince just like Brett did. Too soon?
Oh,
man.
Angle's not leaving the biz. Not without another run in WWE.
Robert's bringing up in the chat Kurt Angle in New Japan. He did spend time there once upon a time.
I can't see him going to Japan.
No.
Did anybody see AJ Styles going to Japan?
Yes.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't going to sign with WWE.
Yeah, but
there's really no, say all you want about Ring of Honor. There's no, to make the money he needed to make, he wasn't going to make it anywhere else.
Yeah, I feel
not at that time.
AJ could have cleaned up in the States. If the Young Bucks are doing pretty well for themselves, AJ could have cleaned up pretty well.
AJ didn't want to put in that type of work.
Well, he is putting in that type of work. On top of New Japan right now.
Where's he been wrestling lately then?
just recently he was in the King of Trios for Chikara with the Young Bucks.
Okay. Well, he finally got off his ass and started working. I'm just saying back then he didn't have, to me, he didn't have that goal. He was just kind of like, well, fuck it.
Nah, he was hustling, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen that schedule of his with how much it takes to book an appearance with him.
Well, apparently
no, I have not
seen it, so.
I have not seen it.
All right, let's talk about some NXT. So NXT, the big thing going on right now is the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. We've got Corbin and Rhino partnering up. We've got Jordan and Gable, obviously. They are involved. Neville and Solomon Crow teamed up. The Ascension this week appeared and were involved. What do you guys think about this tournament so far? Is there any team that's standing out? And I should also mention next week. Well, actually, this week we're going to get Finn Balor and Samoa Joe teaming up to take on the Lucha Dragons. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this tournament?
I like the fact that they're getting formed tag teams and guys thrown together to try and do something. I think any lengthy tag team tournament needs to be like that. And I know I'm usually like, we need more tag teams that are just pure tag teams. But there's a lot that can grow out of this. And it's almost like they can kind of step aside and see a lot of respect for Dusty. And it's purely a respect thing for Dusty. Hence, Neville and Corbin. What?
Corbin and Rhino?
Corbin and Rhino? Wait, Neville and...
Solomon Crow.
Crow. Oh, never mind. I always confuse Corbin and Crow. Because I think by name they both should have the same gimmick. That's just a personal thing. But
yeah, I mean, I do enjoy what this tournament is producing. And yeah, I'm with you, Joe. I like the teams that kind of just get thrown together. Because, I mean, you never know what might stick. Like, when TNA was doing the Joker's Wild tournaments, we got Samoa Joe and Magnus. Nobody thought that was going to be a good tag team, but they were great. And they actually went on to be champions together. Pretty good run. I think there's a potential to do that as well here. I'm not sure which team might fill that role yet. Like, I don't think it's going to be Breeze and Bull. But, you know, Corbin and Rhino, we might actually see some decent matches out of them. But yeah, I think my favorite at the moment has got to be Jordan and Gable. Those two are money. And
those two are hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I never thought I'd say that about Jordan.
Yeah, me neither. And I think my favorites are just Jordan and Gable, just because I don't see them giving the Mechanics a real serious push to the titles. As much as I love that team, as much praise as they get for like just how solid their gimmicks and how solid the ring work is, I just don't think management is ready to push them that far yet.
Yeah, and right now what we do know is that this is going to end on October 7th, which is the next NXT Takeover. They haven't fully announced what that theme is going to be yet, but that's on October 7th, so about 5 weeks away, I think, from tonight.
That's in the UK, isn't it?
Yes. So it's good. Basically it's a 6-week tournament. So the teams that we've seen, I have not seen a bracket yet as far as made available by WWE and NXT, but you got to imagine that Enzo and Cass are going to be involved. Maybe Dawkins and Fulton. You've got Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy, the Vaudevillains, Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder. Also announced this week was Tyler Breeze and Bull Dempsey teaming up. So, I think this is really cool, and it does add, that nice mixture of teams that have been built already and, are, have that credibility, like the Ascension getting involved, like Lucha Dragons and the Vaudevillains and whatnot. But then, you do have that nice little mixture of people just getting together to see if they can go anywhere. So, Neville and Solomon Crow were an interesting tag team, I thought. So I'm digging it so far. I think it's going to be a heavier part of the show for the next 5 weeks, but we'll see.
How much do you want to bet that if Tyler Breeze and Bull Dempsey win their first match, then they have Bull coordinating his outfits with Breeze?
Ooh.
Oh, God. That's a whole lot of Muppet to shear.
Eva Marie, what do you think about her? Is she improving at all for you?
Not yet. Not noticeably. She's still not bad, technically speaking. It's just a lack of advancement.
I really want her to impress me. I really do. For as long as she's been in the public eye to the WWE fans and NXT fans in turn, I just don't feel she's done enough. I want more. I want her to prove me wrong, but I think she's going to be a flop. The only reason they're pushing her is the quote-unquote sex appeal, and she really doesn't have much of that anymore because she looks like a damn dead fish. So saith the Joe.
Hey, so real quick, apparently there is a bracket. I'm having a hard time finding it, but I did find one on Wikipedia.
It was they did put it on the screen.
What?
Yeah, I do remember that. That's where I saw Dawkins and Fulton.
Oh, okay. So yeah, here is the damn it. I hate Wikipedia. I just spoiled myself. Let me find it on the website and use that one so we can talk about it.
Here's what I've seen. First round matches as of September 2nd. So this is last week. Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy versus Dawkins and Fulton. Balor and Samoa Joe versus Lucha Dragons. Blake and Murphy versus Vaudevillains. Knight and Sampson versus Dawson and Wilder. Mojo Rawley. What's that?
Who and Sampson?
Tucker Knight.
I don't remember him.
Tucker Knight and Elias Sampson versus Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. Granted, I'm pulling this from WrestleZone, so this could...
that's the only one I found, and then Wikipedia. So that's why I didn't want to use it.
Beanbags is saying Marcus Louise in this, and he has a partner.
Yes, I saw that as well.
I have no idea what's... This is the first time I'm seeing that.
Full brackets according to Wrestling Inc.
I want to see full brackets from NXT's website. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Someone link me to that so that I can read this without spoiling myself. That's what I asked in the live chat. So until we have that, we'll just leave it as that. But I'm still excited about the tag team tournament. I think this is pretty cool. Eva Marie. I thought she was okay. Not really improving, but she is improving on just her mechanics as a heel. I think she was playing more into it, but man, she cannot sell at all. And to think, like, to see that, and then to read Reddit about all the rumors that she's going to be the next women's champion. Like, how absurd is that? That's where they're going with this. If that's true, if that rumor is true, how absurd is that? That Eva Marie is going to be the one to take the title off of Bayley.
The damnedest thing is that, from a booking standpoint, ignoring her experience level, just purely from a booking standpoint, with the characters involved, that makes sense. Just the humble beginnings that Bayley has, and the way she's scraped and clawed for everything, and she finally got that title. And then Eva Marie, who was handed everything on a silver platter, didn't even have to train for like 2 years. And then she walks in after, what? We know of the 6 weeks with Brian Kendrick and whatever else she's got in at the Performance Center on top of that, but not nearly as much as Bayley's had. And she just waltzes right in, has a couple matches against some jobbers, beats Carmella at Brooklyn, and then takes the belt from Bayley. I can't even fathom how hated she would be if that happens.
So you're saying they're not going to give Bayley a run, a decent run?
I think that she will get a decent run, but I just think of how much of a mindfuck that would be, how big a slap in the face the NXT audience would perceive that to be. I mean, that's depths of heat I don't think have ever been plumbed before.
I can't see them doing it. Not with her. Not at this point. If anything, they're going to do Nia Jax.
I think I'd want to see her on TV first before I start making judgments.
It's got to be better than... It's got to be better than Eva Marie.
Oh, here we go. I've got the brackets. All right.
I just found them too, yeah.
I didn't find a graphic, but I've got I'm rewatching NXT. And at the very end, they do pull him up, but give me a second.
Just to give him props, Blue Cactuar did post them.
Oh,
on
okay,
Facebook.
cool. Yeah, so Marcus Louis and Alexander Wolf. I don't remember Alexander Wolf. Oh, you know what? That was a bad graphic because it only zoomed in that one match. All right, well, whatever. Still, there was a bracket somewhere. Blue said it's on the Facebook group. We'll grab that and we'll post that somewhere for all of you guys to check out.
Yes, for those of you fortunate enough to be in the live chat tonight, there it is. We cannot forget Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh, yeah.
Did that happen this week?
We saw them present when the match was announced. The same segment where Breeze was told that Bull Dempsey would be his partner.
Okay. Cool deal.
Cool beans, my knees.
All right, so some other news that I guess we'll just touch on real quickly. The first thing, which this broke last week, Jimmy Snuka is expected to be charged with murder for the 1983 murder of his then girlfriend Nancy Argentino. WWE has already basically pulled most references to him off of the website. Yeah, so tough break. Tough break for the guy. I mean,
so close to getting away with it too. If it wasn't for those damn kids.
Yeah, I mean,
meddling dog.
It just sucks that he lived, a good portion of his life, and is now just now being arraigned for it. You have to imagine that he is or will be found guilty for them to want to bring charges at this point. But still, I mean, that's just
innocent until proven guilty, and obviously we're making jokes. Because what else is there to do? It's a case that everybody's heard about.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard about this for years. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, oh, it really didn't happen, or did it? It became like wrestling urban legend. And now for it to come up again, like they have some new evidence that they never had before, or like, how the hell? I'm just in awe.
Yeah, and now, his lawyer is suggesting that he's suffering dementia. So, I mean, it's like, is he even capable of, standing trial? I don't know. It's just sad. Sad thing. I mean,
I feel bad for his family, Dimana, but I don't feel bad for him.
No.
Imagine if he did, hypothetically, if he did do it.
Yeah.
I mean, to go that long in your life and have to deal with the fact that you did that. I don't know. Maybe if he did it, maybe there was no remorse. I don't know. I've never seen the guy outside of, television. But I don't know. It's sad all around.
Yeah, I think my major issue with it is just the timing. It took this long, but also he's just a really old guy now.
But in turn, does that mean? I mean, I guess this conversation's getting a little more political than we ever would want to get.
Yeah, this is getting into a squared circle of trust content.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So there's a topic for us.
No, but I mean, I don't know. He's an old guy. If we put him in jail, he'll be in jail for like a year. He really won't have that opportunity, for penance or anything. Like, what is that actually doing? It's like there was this guy, and we can jump off this topic real quickly, but there was this guy that lived in Cleveland, and I want to say it was like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. John Dimana Vic or something along those lines, and basically he was. They deported him because they found out that he was like a Nazi prison guard or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But at this point, at that point in his life, he had lived, he had lived what, 40, 50 years since then. And now is this old guy that could barely get around by himself. He was in a wheelchair and I don't know. It's just not that old guys should be able to get away with stuff, but at the same time,
that's exactly what you're saying.
It's hard for me to see the benefit of punishing them. Because what is it actually doing to them? I mean, especially if Snuka's got dementia.
Right, but I mean,
like it's closure for the family, I guess, but at the same time, like.
But I mean, at what point do you make the law to say, oh, if you're older than this, oh, don't worry about it. You fucking hypothetically killed 12 people? Not that Snuka did, I'm just saying. If you're going with the Nazi guy. Yeah. Oh, you killed 100 people? Oh, fuck it, but you're 80. No, at some point, the idea behind it is at some point, doesn't matter, you did the crime, you're going to have to atone for it.
Sure.
Yeah, there's no statute of limitations on that, so.
Yeah.
All right. Enough of this. Let's, I think it's time to talk about the best and worst that happened this week in Win Fail.
Wait. We're missing a news topic.
Oh, shit. That's right. All right. So another news topic. Basically, there were 3 names announced to be signed with WWE. One has been made official. The other 2 are still rumored, but those names are Kana, Rich Swann, and Biff Busick.
Absolutely exciting. I haven't seen a lot of Biff Busick's work, but Rich Swann, he is an amazing athlete. Like Apollo Crews, but maybe 50 pounds lighter. Like this guy is... I don't want to call him a spot monkey, because that's just got all kinds of negative connotations, but... You know, he's all over that Young Buck style of wrestling. High flyer is part of it. If you've seen Ricochet on Lucha Underground, Rich Swann is very similar. So I'm definitely excited about that, but I'm ecstatic about Kana being signed. Like, this is what you'd get if Sarah Del Rey was signed as a wrestler instead of a coach. This is absolutely fantastic news for the women's division down there. I can't wait to see her on TV.
Cool. I've got no comment because I didn't know who any of these people were.
Kana, they showed at ringside at NXT Takeover Brooklyn. Chuck Taylor is another name that people are suggesting has been signed, but I really haven't seen a whole lot about it.
He's refuting that.
Yeah,
I do. It does make me wonder if that's just hush hush shenanigans. Kayfabe brother.
Yeah,
but, that would also be awesome.
I don't know. I'm familiar with Chuck Taylor as far as I've seen a match of his, I think, during the first Raw Alternative.
I was going to say the name does sound familiar, but then I'm just like, Converse. All right.
I don't know any of these other names, but I hear the internet's pretty pleased that that this happened. So
I need the Kentucky Gentleman with the Vaudevillains.
Now it's time for Win Fail.
Women wrestlers aren't getting paid? Why do you do a job?
Here is your win.
You do any job,
and fail
is to fucking get paid!
Of the week.
Joe, what is your win of the week?
My win of the week is the New Day segment with Edge and Christian and then eventually the Dudleys. The Kazoos. Brilliant. Reeked of awesomeness. Fun segment. One of the better things on Raw.
Nick, your win.
New Day victory fanfare. That's all that needs to be said.
My win of the week is going to go to the tag team tournament down in NXT. I think it's very good so far. I do like the names on the bracket that I've seen. And yeah, I think overall this is a good thing going. Some wins from the live chat. We've got some more love for the New Day, Edge and Christian, and the Dudley Boyz backstage. Some props to Brian Myers and Trevor Lee this week as they won the TNA World Tag Team Championships over on Impact Wrestling, and some more love with Christian. So, fails. What's your fail of the week, Joe?
Sting. Vignette Crazy Sting. This may be a running theme with me. I'm sorry to those of you who were hoping for more. I don't like Sting getting this title shot. I don't like Sting in this role. So Sting. Do something real in the ring or go home.
How many weeks do you give it until he transitions to full-on Joker Sting?
I don't know. I'm just annoyed. I'm still annoyed at the fact that he's still got those shitty masks that he keeps putting on, that they're selling to the kids. I mean, why don't you just go late 80s, early 90s Bret Hart and just have him wear it down to the ring and give it to a kid. Oh, wait. He's got to come to the ring and actually work a match. Oh, wait. Fuck you, Sting.
All right. My fail is, well, actually, I think I'm going to echo, some of the fails from the live chat. Live chat, we've got, Sting destroying Seth Rollins' statue. The fact that Jeff Hardy over in TNA has to be EC3's personal assistant. By the way, Fans Talk TNA, that is our TNA themed show where Nick and I cover TNA each and every week. So if you're into TNA, you want to hear more conversations about that, that's where to find them now. fanstalktna.com.
Hear us talk about Suit Hardy.
Yeah. We also got fails to the fan crashing Raw. Basically, there was a fan that jumped the aisle and walked up towards the ring with Seth Rollins. And yeah, that's my fail, really, is just the fact that like fans are now like going above and beyond, just doing dumb chants to try to take over the show. Now they're jumping over the rail, and this is, I think, like the third or fourth time in like 2 months. And yeah, it's crazy. And I don't know if that's just a sign of fans no longer feeling like they have to stay in their seats, or this is just how terrible wrestling is right now, and this is a way that they're boycotting.
I just found it funny, the guy just like casually walking along.
Yeah.
He wasn't like the normal jackasses who try and get involved in the match or anything like that. He's just like, doo-doo-doo, and you hear Cena going, hey, hey, hey! Like he starts freaking out. Nobody else in the ring even looks over until the ref. I don't know. To me, that was quite funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we actually found the poster child for legalizing pot in that segment. That was the biggest stoner I have ever seen in my life.
What's a big dude?
Okay.
Nick, did you give your fail?
I did not.
Oh, sorry. What's your fail?
Just Raw in general. It's basically a big steaming pile of shit, and you find some diamonds in there that you had to pick up and wash off in order to appreciate them fully. Just kind of take them out of the overall experience, so they're not tainted by the general shitfest that went on. Like JBL, my God, just Seth freaking Rollins every 5 minutes. Saying that once because you're genuinely excited about the thing is great, but then you try to force that in again every 5 minutes. How are you still commentating? How is Vince not come out there personally and hold you to the back?
Because they need a king. They need someone to say stupid shit.
Put King back out there.
No, JBL's better than King.
No, he's not. I would definitely prefer to have King back now instead of JBL. Although, why you didn't have Edge and Christian on guest commentary while they were there, I don't understand. Just have them commentate the show for one night. Get your money's worth out of them.
You know what? That would have changed Raw entirely for me. That would have made it one of the best Raws ever, even if it was no matches.
Right?
I would love to see that.
Why are we booking this shit, man?
Because we're too smart.
I want Matt Stryker back.
I loved Stryker. Stryker was awesome.
Stryker is still good.
Who did he? It was it Todd Grisham that he did ECW with?
I believe so. That does sound familiar.
Or was it SmackDown? No, it was ECW. And
I did SmackDown with Cole.
Right. No, but I loved that pairing. Like, they were perfect. They were just so entertaining. And the fact that they cracked themselves up and just go with it, like, it just kind of fit the vibe. Like, you could tell they were enjoying their job. Unlike most people who do commentary, just seem like they're filling lines, not enjoying the job. We need more Lucha Underground. I heard a rumor, though, that they did get picked up for a second season.
Well, no, that's not true. What was said was that they all believe that they will. It's just a matter of when and where. So there's been a lot of different theories going around if they're trying to pick up some streaming audience. So I doubt Netflix is in the equation, but being able to stream on Sling, I think, is definitely an option just because El Rey is already there. I don't know how it works. I assume that once a network is there, that a show can be there, but apparently that's not necessarily the case. So, but yeah, for all intents and purposes, they are going to get re-signed. But
I miss Fans Talk Lucha. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, me too. All right. Any final thoughts?
Pick up Iron Man's Book of Souls. I don't give a damn if it's not wrestling related. There is a 5 degrees of Chris Jericho thing that we can pull out here that I could totally take advantage of. Pick up that album. It's great.
And if you're going to pick up that, you might as well head over to MidnightSyndicate.com and pick up their new album. It's a haunted Christmas album. Damn straight. Hell yeah. And if you love instrumentals and horror-themed music, definitely check out all their other albums. Garvin, do you have a music plug to make? Because that's apparently what we're doing now.
No,
well, you can't make that plug until you play 5 Degrees of Chris Jericho first.
I did 4 chin-ups consecutively today. Yep.
See, I just brought it back to wrestling-related content.
Okay,
New
cool.
Day was recently on Chris Jericho's show. Yeah, that flies, yeah.
And, well, yeah. Alrighty.
All right, and that's the show. But the conversation doesn't have to stop here. If you like this episode and you want to ensure the series continues, head on over to patreon.com/fans talk. Send a few dollars our way every single month. Think of it like you're buying us a beer once a month. And we really like beer. So you guys like talking with us each and every week. We like drinking beer. Let's help each other out here. But yeah, all those links are over on fanstalkprowrestling.com. Lots of cool stuff coming out of the Fans Talk podcast family network of podcasts. We've got another one in the works right now. It's starting to record, so we're really excited about some things that are about to happen. So, and yes, hopefully Fans Talk Lucha does return at some point soon. That would be awesome. Well, that's it for Joe, Nick, myself, everyone in the live chat. We will see you next Tuesday. Adios.